So the new perspective on Don't Trip, the project that's available everywhere that you can stream now, the new perspective on it, if you listen to it now a second time, I want to offer a whole new way for you to listen to it as a fan, as a first time listener, whatever, what have you. So as an entertainer, a lot of people have aliases that they turn to because it helps them keep personal life and business life, separate. And you can find like a balance. So my alias is the ruler. Long live, luck left the ruler, lucky left. Like that's my alias right there. Aside from Idris French, even though I go by the stage name Idris French. So with the project Don't Trip, I wrote every track not every track. The project was completed, to my knowledge, last year, 2020, around December, it was completed. And only one track and two interludes. I'm sorry, one track, one interlude, and an outro got included January time to have the release in March. So that track that had got added to in January was the last track. The last track that I wrote was Highlights. Highlights was the last track. So the way the project is like Don't Trip. Don't Trip was inspired by Mac Miller. It was inspired by Mac Miller. But it took on a different meaning. Especially after, I guess it's been a month and a couple days now, or a month and 20-something days, whatever, that the project has been out. But like as I listened to it, it's like a couple days ago, I realized a whole new perspective is something that I was not even aware of when I released it. And it's like throughout the whole project, I was talking to myself. So it's like Don't Trip. It's like 2020 was a crazy year. And a lot of us were faced with the pressure of just having to deal with our own BS. We was forced to self-reflect and evaluate who we were as a person, or just our character, or just being by ourselves, and we realized like, yo, I don't like this. For me, I faced a lot of neglection. That's what I felt. A lot of neglection. I felt like I was neglected by a lot of people that I didn't even like think that it would get to this point. And so that's what came out in the music. And I turned to the alias, which is the ruler. So the very first song, Swim Poem, that's Idris French. That's me telling myself like, yo, like just swim, everything, just be, and just let everything happen. The very next track that came into it is LLTR. And how I pronounce it is double LTR, which is abbreviated for Long Live the Ruler. So it's like an introduction to the ruler. And he comes on, rather I come on. And I'm saying like, long as I'm alive, long as I'm living, you're gonna feel these vibes. Yo, why is you tripping? And that's me saying like, yo, like, I got this. That's the ruler, my alias saying, yo, I got this. Don't worry about it. You feel neglect, don't worry. Like we going at all they heads. So after that, top one comes on. Like that's the thing I say. I've been saying my man's turn. Like we came up with that. And it's like he'll ask the question like how the ladies treating you out there, man? It's like I'll just say like, yo, come on, I'm top one out here. Like ain't nobody topping me. Like, but that's what the track was inspired by as far as the title goes. And then within it, with the lyrics and everything like that, that was the ruler just letting it rip. I didn't have no agenda. Only thing on the agenda was like, yo, y'all gonna feel this. And so it was the witty lines and everything like that. Then right after, of course, we had Mo Quinn with the feature. With he did his thing on there. And then you hear it, like he called me Luck. You know what I mean? He doesn't even call me Idris French. So that just gives to the alias even more. So then the very next track that comes on after that, which is These Thoughts, and it goes, that's actually Idris French, and he's like in his head, like talking to his conscience. His conscience is his alias, which is the ruler. And it's like, these thoughts of mine. I'm about to sing it, but I'm not going to sing it. And so the ruler is like, yo, like, you know, quiet down. Like, I hear you. Because the ruler is out and, like, moving. And, like, Idris French is in the head, like, yo, like, hold up. I got all these other things. It's like, hold up. Like, what about her? Like, and so that's what that is. And so then the very next track right after that is, with These Thoughts, is you know, scrambled brains. And that's when the ruler comes back out, like, nah, like, I ain't gonna get tripped up, like, I ain't gonna get caught up on thoughts. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep pushing, this is where I'm at. I'm going at they head, like, that's where it's like going. And so then with highlights actually, with that track, that's actually a mixture of both, but it's more so Idris French, because it's like, yo, like, it's more than some highlights here. Like, people don't see what goes on to deliver the product. Like your friends, family, they just see the end product. That's what they care about. And it's no knock to them, because they care about you, but that's all they are worried about. Like, what have you done for me? Like, where you at right now? But, like, going through the whole motion, they don't see that. They don't see what you deal with, you know, when you're sleeping, when you're laying there, you're trying to go to sleep, you can't go to sleep because stuff is on your mind. It's like, like, you know what I mean? They don't see all that, and that's what I was speaking on in highlights, is like, to keep going. They don't see what I have to do to keep going, so I try to talk about it as much as I could in the song highlights of my process, what I do. And it's like, when I want to give up, the universe speaks to me, won't let me get up. And so then Dark Clouds come on, very next track, and that's the ruler coming back into the equation and give his perspective on it. It's like, yo, like, you don't hear my pain, like, you just hear the songs. It's like, you're not concerned about, like, how I'm feeling, like, where I'm at mentally. I could be crying out for help just like everybody else. Good thing about me, though, I'm not turning to the negative. I'm still being positive. Like, even though I'm the ruler, I'm the one that come at your neck, I'm still being positive with it. Like, I'm not turning to the liquor. I'm not turning to any type of drugs to cope with the pain that I'm dealing with. I'm writing this music right here. And, like, that's what I talk about. I wasn't no humans. It was only the music. God in the universe, that's what got me through it. And that's just what I'm speaking. And so that was the ruler. And then the beauty in this entire project comes at the very end. The last track that I wrote, which is Don't Trip. Because I never realized that I was talking to myself the entire time. And it's like, it just hit me, where it was like, when I said, you better with some effort, some work and time, yeah, you will define. I continue reading books and signs you give me. I be reading books and I be seeing signs, and it's like, no one really gives me books to read. I find them, I get them that way, and it's like, don't trip. Like, sometimes you let love, don't trip, don't quit. You know you better quit. I'm talking to myself. And it's like, it seems like, oh, you talking about a woman, because at the very end of it, like I say, I'm talking about a woman. But throughout that process, before that even comes, it's all me. I'm talking to myself. It's like, that's why the project is titled Don't Trip. Like, everything's gonna work out. Like, no matter what you're going through, you know, mentally. Like, if you listening to it from this new perspective, I feel like it would hit different this time around. And the very last track, Sorry I Missed You, it was me being creative. It was like the calls that I had in between that time frame, from 2020 to, you know, March 12th. In that time frame, the calls that I missed and people left voicemails, it's like, it those were all people that had a part in my process, throughout this. Some type of way, form, like they had a part in it, 100%. And like it was just me being creative, putting that together. It was last minute, like me saying like, oh, I think that would be cool, but I think it would be pretty cool. But what I thought would be pretty cool turned out being pretty damn creative. So listening to it now, man, it's just a whole new, like, it just comes back to like what I started doing this for. Is like I always wanted to like tell stories and like just paint a picture. So it's like it's refreshing for myself to be able to listen to it and say like, yo, I created something, not even intending to create this. It was literally just like what I said. I grab a blank canvas, I got my paint brushes, got my paint, and I'ma just go. I don't even know what I'm painting, but I'm painting. I think I'm done. Take a step back and just look at what I created. Like, it's beautiful. So don't trip. Available everywhere. Check the project out now if you haven't. We got more on the way. I want to thank everybody for everything, for every blessing. Congratulate me now. Thank you.